Hello everyone and welcome to Solar Expanse. This is a new game that's just entered early access that I've been really excited to check out. It builds itself as a space exploration management game, which is right up my alley. So yeah, very excited to check this out, see what's going on with it. And I have played a little bit of it before today. Just went through the basic kind of tutorial to get grips on how it plays, but we'll be starting a new game today, so let's go ahead. So in this we manage a space organization, so we've got various ones to pick from here, all very heavily based on real ones, most of them named after real ones, except for Solex here. Solex is your SpaceX that you got from Temu. So it's private industry. Blah, 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 blah. Words are hard first thing in the morning. So yeah, private industry, space corporation, trying to explore space for money. Each of these comes with its own little traits, so if we pick Solex here, we start off with reusable rockets and Hydrolox engines. And we get additional fuel production, so we can basically send more missions. Otherwise we've got NASA. NASA is NASA. And they start with nuclear power and propulsion and hydrogen production. Then we have the European Space Agency. They start with improved electric engines and computing technologies, and they start with the research lab so it can get more research faster. We have the Chinese Space Agency. They start with improved mining, so they get more resources which are used to build lots of stuff, and more mining facilities, so their initial amount of minerals is increased. They can build more stuff. And then we've got Roscosmos. They start with space farming and hydroponic farms, so better ability to keep people fed up in space. All of them honestly seem pretty interesting. They've all got their own little advantages and disadvantages. I'm going to go with ESA because I like ESA. ESA do some nice, general, interesting things. And this seems like quite fun. So you get a boost for technology. Technology is always fun in these sort of games. Now, I said this is early access. They've got a load of stuff in their roadmap. For now, we play on the realistic solar system, which is absolutely fine. This is honestly the one that I am most interested in. There's also planned along the roadmaps to be simplified solar systems, so less planets, less moons and things to explore, but maybe easier to get around if you just want to jump into it. And then they do want to add alien solar systems that you can start in, so not necessarily starting on Earth, but having some kind of very different system with its own challenges. For now we only have realistic solar systems, that's fine. That's the one I'm interested in. Again, we have start date here. This is because the technology here goes really quite far forward. These are, I believe, technically available in early access, but you need to get to them in one campaign before you can start. So we'll start off with this early exploration, which is set in 2020. This does go right ahead all the way to about 2300, with the idea that you can move on to other solar systems long distance. Now, to make space interesting, you know what? Let's chuck in all of the other rival corporations. Don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but let's have everyone there and see how we can compete. I have done the tutorial, so I'm going to disable that for now, so we can just do our own thing. But I believe we can bring up the tutorial if we have any questions. right now we only have this default Pioneer difficulty. Again, going forward you do get others, easier and harder ones. This starts off with plenty of resources, so we can build a load of stuff off the bat, and a decent, if not amazing, amount of money. And so here we are loading in. My rat has come to say hello to me, because he always does during the streams, because I talk continuously, and that means I must be talking to him about treats, so I'm going to give him a treat so he goes away happy. And, yeah, right. There we go. So yeah, our mission is to lead us to conquest of the solar system and beyond. Any tutorial information pops up. I thought I disabled that, so I'm assuming it is actually. Okay, so I think that's just what I can bring up. So, starting off here, 2020, and we have our contracts. So the main way that we expand, at least in the early game, is through these contracts. We can do them, and we get money, which can be used to buy various things. So in this case, our first mission is to put a telescope into low Earth orbit, or just Earth orbit, and point it at Luna. So, fair enough, we can do that. And so, in order to build anything, we click on a spatial body that we can build stuff from, and right now that's just the Earth, because, funny enough, 2020 we only really have construction facilities on Earth, but you can definitely expand beyond that. And then what we want to do is get a space telescope. We already have one in our inventory, so we don't need to buy that. We already have our launch vehicle here, so I believe we've got everything that we need to get started. So we go to plan a mission. And then first of all, we've got the origin destination. And so here I want to put this satellite into Earth orbit. So Earth orbit. We can name it if we want. Earth orbit 1 is fine for now. Cyclical missions come a bit later if you want something like a transport moving back and forth between a colony to keep things topped up. A hypothetical mission allows you to plan things which you don't have the resources for right now. If you just want to see what a mission would be like, how long it would take, what resources you need. Right now we're going to do an actual mission. So the spacecraft I'm having here just needs to be something to chuck this out into Earth orbit. And that's what this orbital payload container is for. We already have one, so boop. And then into that I can either stick resources or modules. And in this case, Space Telescope counts as a module. So I throw it up there. It weighs 2 tons. My spacecraft can take up to 1,000 tons because the payload container is massive, so that's fine. And then we've got our launch vehicle to select. So the launch vehicle is what gets your object out of high gravity, and then the spacecraft is what takes it through the stars. In this case, we only have one to begin with. This is the Sparrow. Nice, cheap and simple. It's not the best one. Only puts out a little bit into low Earth orbit, so it can only put out 10 tons. That's fine, we're only putting 2 tons. Otherwise, there we go. That is everything set up. It should arrive there in a day, because funnily enough it doesn't take that long. It does bleed off some of our fuel because we need to launch this into orbit. There we go. Schedule that flight. Now before that gets started, I want to get started with the research. And the research tree here is pretty big. It doesn't go too far to the right now. I imagine that's going to be added a lot in early access. But in terms of the kind of breadth of what you can research, we've got a huge number of options here. I would like to see them change this a little bit right now, because this is a bit of a pain to scroll through. It looks lovely, but having to scroll up and down that much is a little bit awkward. But yeah, we've got all sorts of things that we can do. Here, we start off with all the blue technologies, so because we are Europe, we start off with some fancy computing technology that boosts our research speed. And here's the electric technology that we have. So we've got our Hall thrusters. Can keep expanding that. Then we've got all sorts of other things, each of which unlocks a specific technology here. If we hover over the requirements, it tells us what they are, so we can find them, because very often the requirements are in other sections. So America would have started with nuclear power, which I might end up researching because it's not that expensive. Yeah, we need nuclear power for fusion theory. And we've got all sorts of things. So we've got spin launch facilities, super heavy launch facilities, all sorts of fancy things. I honestly have not played this enough to know what is best and what is not as great. But I do know before long we're going to require the Stratos spacecraft here. So we start off with the Iris, which is fine for shifting probes and things around. But it very much lacks the tonnage that the Stratos here can move. So I'm going to queue that up. Nice and quick, that's only done 58 days. I can put other things in the queue. So for example here I've got my Iris, which has a limit of 20 tons. I could upgrade that to get a Selene, bit more expensive to build, but can carry heavier stuff. Seems useful just to throw that in the queue for now. Otherwise that's about all I can do for now, so I just start playing time. And there we go, here is our brand new telescope launched into Earth orbit. And what we can do now is do some exploration. We want to use our observatory that is on the Earth, and we want to look at Luna. And there we go. So what's going to happen is our satellite is going to be pointed at Luna. It's going to steadily get information on what is on the moon. And importantly, we get a tiny little chunk of money there. Really not much, but we didn't do a lot there. Next mission, though, is we need to actually put a probe on Luna to get more information. So that's fine. We need to build another Iris, because we need one to transport it across. We need to build a probe, and then chuck it onto Luna. Get a fair chunk more money here. So we can go ahead and do that. Again, we start just by clicking on Earth. And then we go down. So for our probe, a probe counts as a facility and a module. So we need to build one of those. You can see it costs resources. Not really a huge amount of resources. We'll get that starting to build. So there we go. That cost 5 alloys. We had 1,000, so we're now down a little bit. It also cost electronics. We're also going to need the iris. So if we go spacecraft, we need to build us an iris. That'll take a certain amount of time. Now we do have a Sparrow still, which should be enough to get this into orbit. The iris is only 2 tons. The probe, I can't bring it up, but it's not that heavy. And the Sparrow can launch 10 tons, so that's all fine. Oh, I don't need 2 of them. Now that's going to take time to build. You see we're manufacturing both at the same time. When they're done, it auto pauses, so that's the iris done. Still need the probe. There we go. So that's both probe and iris done now. And so now we need to go and send this. So once more we go to another planned mission. This time we're going to Luna. Info and spacecraft, so yeah, in this case we want our Iris spacecraft. It has a cargo capacity of 2 tons. Probe only takes 1 ton. That's great. Sparrow's fine for getting that into orbit. And then we've got the choice of how much fuel we send on it. So we only need 2 Delta V. I don't see any advantage of sending more than we need here because the Iris is a one-way probe. So we're just going to go put that down to the minimum needed. That's all set. And off it goes. Our lovely, lovely probe here. Making its way. Ta-da! There we go. Contract completed. We get 150 grand. And so now on to the next mission. Things starting to get a little bit more complex here. In this case, what we need to do is land people on the moon. So that's all fine. What we're going to need to do is research the Stratos, which is great because we're already doing that because, as I said, I did the tutorial, kind of knew the order. We then need to construct the Stratos, construct the Eagle, deliver crew component from Earth to Luna, and then we need to bring them back because we don't have anywhere to, you know, leave them on the moon, so it's probably a good idea to bring them home. We get a nice chunk of money if we can do this, though. So that's fine. We can't build the Stratos because we're still repairing it. What we can do is build an Eagle. So we've got different launch vehicles here. So far we've just been using the tiny one, the Sparrow, which is fine, nice and cheap. We do have the Falcon, which is a reusable launch vehicle, but is only got 42 tons. And then we've got the Eagle. This is also reusable. This is super heavy, so it takes a lot more resources, but it's what we're going to need for this mission. So we'll build one of those. As soon as we get the Stratos research done, we can research the Stratos. We already have the crew component. It's given us one of those. So that should be fine. We just need to play time along. There we go. Research is complete on the Stratos. So get those, and you can see compared to the Iris, which can only carry 2 tons, and can only carry 20 tons of propellant, the Stratos can carry 100 tons of cargo and 1 kiloton of fuel. So it's capable of doing much, much more. Does take a huge amount more time to build. So let's stick one of those in. Now, because we've got one vehicle assembly facility here, we can only build one thing at a time. And also, we've finished probing or looking at the moon there with our space observatory, so it automatically goes to the next thing, so it's now scanning Mars to see what it can pick up there. Now, modules. Yeah, so this is where we build our various mines and things. So right now we've got noble gas extractor. Okay, that is our Eagle finished, so we're now working on the Stratos. Yeah, so I think if we build another vehicle assembly, we could build 2 of these in order, but that would take a lot of our resources out there. Yeah. So for now, we'll just leave that be. Alright, these are the resource deposits that we have available to us. Found nitrogen on Mars, that's very fancy. Okay, alright, alloy smelting, so that's what we use to start making alloys. Alright, well, for now I'll just leave it as is. Let's fast forward and... oh, sorry, we are done with our research, so let's queue something else up. So, Hermes... okay, so the Hermes is for longer... incapable of planetary landing, that goes further. As biotech gives us, just unlock some stuff for space farming. Okay, improved capsule construction, be interesting. What I'm going to do is, for now, without anything too pressing, I'm going to put research into research. So, yeah, let's go for early quantum computers. Tiny little boost for research, fine. By the way, that was the Stratos completed, so now we can queue up this next mission. And in this case, we are going to Luna again. Luna itself, not Lunar Orbit. See, this is now Luna 6, that's because the other space agencies are doing stuff. Let's grab the Stratos. The module that it needs is our crew compartment. Stick 5 crew on there. Got our Eagle. And yeah, so this is a note that we need to feed our crew to keep them alive. So here we've got a mission length of 7 days. We have to get, that's how long they take to get there. They then also have to get back. I'm going to give them 20 days of supplies. That seems more than enough. Now, importantly, they do need more fuel because they need to not just get there, but they need to get back as well. So I'm going to send them with full fuel, which may be a bit overkill, but better too much than not enough. So there we go. Now, in the meantime, may as well do some more construction. I want to get another iris. So the Stratos is reusable, so that's fine. I'll bring it back intact. But I want to get an iris built. And, you know, we've researched the Selene, so let's get the Selene built. In terms of our launch vehicles, I'm going to put a Falcon into production as well. Just get our guys building some stuff. Otherwise, that all seems good. And then, so there we go, there is Luna 6, and it has just made it very quickly. Went back there. So now, here we have our Stratos that has just landed with the crew component, and so we need to bring our people back. So we plan a new mission, this time from Luna to Earth. Bring the Stratos back because the moon has much lower gravity. The Stratos has enough power to be able to take off from it. Importantly, we want to bring our crew component back. Could bring the probe back, but I don't see there's any harm in leaving the probe there. Don't need a launch vehicle. May as well bring all of the fuel. I guess we could leave some of it on Earth. They've run out of supplies, which is a little bit concerning. Fine. Alright, okay, so that's already the minimum amount of fuel. So they are dropping off some of the excess fuel, that's fine. We'll have some fuel waiting around on Luna for us. By the way, let's schedule a flight. And they make their way back home. Boop! There we go. So we made history. Humans have set foot on the moon once again. That has netted us a nice chunk of money, and very nicely we've gotten 2 new contracts here. We need to explore Mars and build a space dock. So yeah, to explore Mars we need an iris, a probe, and we need to send the probe there to Mars. So that's fine, we can do that here. Go to modules, build a probe. The other thing we're going to need there is we need orbital construction. So let's build one of those because we need to send an orbital construction with a bunch of stuff up into Earth orbit. So we'll get one of those queued up. We've already built the Falcon. We are building the Stratos. Spacecraft is ready to go. The launch vehicle does require refitting, basically, before it is capable of being used again. So there is use in having multiple launch vehicles. You can't just get away with one. By the way, so we go. That is the iris is complete. We'll get our probe finished shortly. There we go, that's everything we need. So now time for a bit of a more complex mission. So we need to go to Mars. The spacecraft, we just need the Selene, so that's fine. The module we're taking is just the probe. And we're going to stick this on the Falcon. Now, here's where things get a little bit more complicated, in that we now have to plan our transfer, and this models transfer windows really quite nicely and accurately, where depending on the relative orbits of the Earth and Mars, You can get much lower energy transfers, or you can get much faster transfers, and it's a bit of a balance between when you arrive and how little fuel you use in getting there. So, for example, I could say, well, I want to get there as soon as possible. The vertical axis here is as soon as possible. And so I could just do this. A maximum full speed burn from Earth, slingshot around the sun, smack into Mars. That would get there in only 2 months, which would be great. Except I believe this is 1.37 tetratons of fuel, which we do not have. That is quite a ridiculous amount of fuel. Everywhere that is red is one of those areas where you're burning a huge amounts of fuel. Green areas are burning less fuel. So we can see here we've got a nice green area here, and the fuel resources come right down. So thinking about as early as I can get it, so as low up as I can get it with as low fuel, we've got about here. I could get there a little bit faster. This is the fastest time. This is the least fuel transfer, and it's up to us exactly what we want to do. So in this case, the difference between the fastest transfer while still being reasonable is 209. The optimal transfer, I do not know. It seems to be a little bit odd. 209 seems absolutely reasonable. If we kind of explore around here, we can't really get much lower. I could get a little bit faster, but this is going for basically twice as much fuel and arriving in September. Or I wait a little bit more to February the following year and only use 200. So I'll go for that one, go for this fastest route. 209 seems nice. That's that mission planned. And that will launch on a future date. So for now, there's nothing I can really do with that mission. That is fine. So I'm just going to focus on my other mission for now. Hello, welcome to the stream, Flame and Griffnizzle. Yeah, I know, fastest gets you there, less fuel. I think it's a mistake that it's making there. And yes, I do hope there's no COVID here. This planet has just decided, you know what, we've got this global pandemic, we're all working from home, we may as well send people to the moon because that is serious social distancing. And so that is our plan. We are going to properly social distance by sending people as far away from each other as possible. Yeah, teratons, or yeah, is it? Oh, it might be trillion. I don't know. So they're using kilo as the prefix for the other ones, and I think I saw a mega somewhere. Yeah, 1 planet distance away. Please keep one planetary body distance away from other humans. We won't have a problem with diseases. It's perfect. Either way, yep, let's continue on. We've found water on Mars with our little probe. Okay, that's just the Selene being built. Oh, that's our electric spacecraft. Nice. Found carbon dioxide on Mars. And there we go. That is the orbital construction unit done. So we can just plan a nice quick mission here. Well, all we're doing is going back out to Earth orbit. in this case, we just want an orbital payload container, because we're going to need to be putting up a lot of mass into orbit. I suppose we could probably fit everything in the Stratos, but I don't think there's any reason to. I'm pretty sure that the orbital container unit is free. I think it's just a big fairing that you stick your stuff in. Alright, so for modules here, we want our orbital construction. Yeah, and that's 50 tons. So yeah, we did actually need this because we're going to need to be putting out, what's that, 225 tons of resources. So we can add resources, either using this thing. So here we need to put 150 tons of alloys into orbit. We can also drag and drop, so we need 50 tons of polymers, that is all of our polymer, and 25 tons of electronics. Okay, that makes up 275 of our maximum 1,000 tons. So there we go, that'll be just fine. That's everything we need. We're going to need to launch this on the Eagle because that is a lot of mass that we're putting out there. Well, there we go. That's going to take a lot of fuel, but no days, because that's just going to launch into orbit. Whee! Boop. Right. Welcome, Kami. Welcome to the stream. You're just in time for us to begin construction on the orbital shipyard. Because now that we've got this orbital construction unit in space, I can build things in space directly. And there we go. Production, orbital shipyard. With all the resources that we needed there, and go. Oh, we've finished repairing the Falcon. Oh, and is that it? Yep. I believe. Maybe? Oh no, 2022. We wait till next year before we're launching the probe. Right, yeah. Okay, one more orbit of the sun, and then we will launch our probe to Mars. Okay, there we go. So that is a space dock mission complete. And new contract, we need to build a lunar depot, which leads to humans on Mars and cyclical missions. Right. So this one is now getting a bit more involved. We need to deliver a mobile refinery to Luna and a mining module to Luna. And we need a cyclical mission from Luna to Earth orbit, lasting 3 cycles, taking fuel. Okay, so we're going to begin mining fuel on Luna. Okay, right. Well, we know how to do the basics there, so we need... Now that's mobile refinery. There we go, mobile refinery. Add that to the queue. And just a mining module. Yep. So that doesn't need any infrastructure. Okay, that is that all going. Why not to snick out? That took me a moment. Flame. You're a terrible person. Right. Okay. We've gotten bored of pointing our telescope at Mars, and we're now starting to point it at Deimos. Now Vesta. Okay, so it's just doing its thing. Right. Okay, so we've got our mobile refinery and our mining module. So I think we're going to end up needing another Stratos here, but never mind. Alright, so let's plan a mission. We need to go from Earth to Luna. I think it's going to have to be the Stratos, because there's no way that the Selene is going to be able to take the mass that we need, because that's 25 tons on its own. Oops, cargo. Back. We're not done adding cargo. Mining module. Okay. So we're chucking those two out there. It's 40 tons. Okay. Which means the Falcon is capable of transporting it, which is great because the Falcon's a bit cheaper. Right, yeah, so it doesn't need a huge amount. I'm going to go for 250. That's overkill on fuel, but should be fine. Immediate launch, because there's no transfer window to the moon, because funnily enough the moon kind of hangs around. There we go. Oh, I want to see Luna. There we go. Little probey doodad. Whee! Okay. Right, so that thing is on the surface. Okay, so that extracts water and silicon. And then we've got the mobile refinery, which uses water and produces fuel. Okay, there we go. We're building up our supply of... and fuel is starting to tick up. Cool. Okay. So now can I plan a cyclical mission? I didn't get this far on the thing. So select our destination is Earth orbit, cyclical mission. So recurring missions between two locations. This is further than I got in tutorials, so just making sure I don't screw this up. Automatically perform. Set what resources transported, whether the flight should use fastest available transfer, fly optimally, how many times. Okay. So that's fine. We've got the Stratus that we've got up there. We want to add resources. We want, yeah, carry fuel. Yeah, probably makes sense to wait until the cargo is full. We don't need a launch vehicle because this is the moon. The Stratos can take off from the moon on its own. We don't need one in Earth orbit. Select the correct cyclical mission that ends after 3 cycles. Okay, so that specifically they want 3 cycles, so we'll do that. For fuel delivery, make sure to select optimal, as going fast will severely reduce the amount delivered. Okay, that makes sense. Contract completed. Right. Starting to expand here. Energy. Ground facilities require energy to function. Energy is produced in power facilities. Okay. Solar arrays pour more the closer you are to the sun. Wind only works on atmosphere. Nuclear power. Yeah. If you don't have enough energy to power all your facilities, they will work at reduced speed. Unused production facilities only consume power. Okay. So we're gonna need to start setting up a proper moon base here. So we need an outpost. Allows 10 people to survive. Self-sufficient outpost. Okay. So we need solar arrays. Can I reorder this? Because we don't have solar... Oh no, that's solar sails technology I don't have. That's fine. Suppose it does make sense for Europe in 2020 to know the technology of solar panels. Yes, that is a thing. Okay, so we need construction equipment needs to be shipped to the moon. From there we can begin building stuff. I will need to work out what exactly. So I guess one thing is we're going to need another spacecraft here. Because our current Stratos is now a goods shuttle. Okay, so we're out of polymers, so yeah, buy some polymers on Earth, that's fine. Build us a new Stratos. Right, so that's going to need supplies. So I need... Oh, hang on, we're not making metal. Right, so for now, we need the construction equipment, so we can definitely book that in. I'm also wondering here... I mean, do we set up like a production thing to make alloys? Because alloys are starting to get a little bit low compared to where we started. We're going to be producing ice water and more fuel on the moon. Yeah, I feel getting some alloy production, and I don't know if this is like the highest priority, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So, resource depots here. Yeah, we've got a decent source of metal. So let's get a metal mining base. Cost us some metal in the short term. And once we've got that, I can get an alloy smelting thingy on Earth. What does polymers need? Polymers need carbon. Do we have carbon? Yeah, fair amount of carbon on the Earth, so let's queue up a carbon mine on the Earth and polymer production on the Earth. Oh, no. Okay, polymer production is way more expensive to build than I thought. 200 tons of titanium. Yeah, so let's get our alloy going up and running. The tech tree needs a search function. Yeah, they do need to do something about this tech tree. I feel it's... I mean, you can zoom out to see the whole thing. Then the problem is you can't see what anything is. I've got a decent sized monitor and I can't. So you zoom in about here. I feel there's a lot of wasted space on this tech tree. Yeah, absolutely. I wish KSP2 hadn't just died as soon as it launched. Yep, see you later, Griff. Okay, anyway, we're doing a lot of stuff, so let's crack on. Okay, that's the construction equipment done. Right, so I want to send... Yeah, so, right... Oh, I need to wait till Stratos is complete before I can send the mission. Incidentally, all the little lines coming off are all our rival agencies doing stuff. They're all having their fun and adventures. So I can spy on them. See how they're doing. I seem to have more stuff than everyone, so I'll take that as a good thing. I love that we've got a habitat on Earth. That's an interesting thing to have. Yeah, so now our alloy smelting, we should start getting in some alloys, which I think will be very handy. Just going to check on... Okay, so we've got one mission left there. How much? So there we go, we've got 65 tons of fuel in Earth orbit right now, so that's beginning to tick along. I'm finding all sorts of stuff with my space telescope. Okay, the Stratos is done. So now we can plan a new mission to the moon. With the Stratos. So we're going to be sending a bunch of stuff. Right, we need to send the construction equipment and then our resources here. So we're going to have to send a bunch of metals. So that's 40, 90... 215 tons of metal is what we need to send. We cannot send 215 tons of metal in one mission. How very rude. Not with the Stratos, and we don't have any other tech. Okay, that's fine, so we'll just send as much metal as we can. Actually, take that down 85. And 10 tons of that. Okay, so that's enough to Yes. So that is enough fuel for enough stuff to build the outpost straight off. Can then begin looking at our other things. Yeah, okay. Right. Falcon is the cheaper of the two. Oh, but it doesn't have the lift capacity, so yeah, we're going to have to send the Eagle. Oh, the spacecraft propellant. Technically, we don't need to ship much over there, because we're producing fuel on the moon right now. I will send a little bit more than it needs so it can come back straight away. There we go. Spacecraft arrived at Luna. So now we've got our construction facility here. So I can build an outpost. Alright, well, Luna has quite a lot of water stored up on it, a bunch of silicon. We're going to send the Stratos back. Producing fuel on the moon by mining ice and then refining it into fuel. I assume it's just generic hydrogen fuel. Yeah, definitely dinosaurs and plants. Dinosaurs and plants make far more sense than splitting water. Who ever heard of splitting water? Right. So from Luna to Earth, the Stratos. I mean, I don't think we need to transport any of this material back home. Yeah, absolute minimum fuel, that's fine. Off it goes. Ba 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 ba. Bloop. Bloop. Okay, that's our spacecraft now back. Yeah, I feel... Oh, no, we're going to need to get the solar array up next. Ah, but that requires crew. All of these require crew. Hence why we need that. Okay, well, I can start shipping more resources anyway. So... yes, we're doing something on the moon that we're not doing on Earth because it's way too power inefficient. But I can certainly produce fuel quicker on Earth than I can on the moon. That is absolutely true. But I then have to get that fuel out of Earth orbit, which takes a lot of fuel to do. So if I'm producing fuel on the moon, even if it is very little amount and very expensive, it's still a cheaper way of getting fuel into Earth orbit. Haha, see? Economics. Yeah, okay, so we're slowly ticking up on alloys. For now, though, let's... Oh, the Eagle's not done repairing. Poop. Okay. I'm gonna have to wait for the Eagle to be refit. Okay, we now have an outpost on Luna. That is important. We can now put people permanently on the moon. Oh, hey, my probe to Mars launched at some point. Okay. Oh, February 12th. It's actually arriving really soon. Yay! I just happened to look over just when I was about to. Nice. Okay, so we have... Aero braking went off without a hitch. First photos of the red planet. Nice. We got chunk of money. And 2 new missions here. So, preparation for human landing on Mars and gravitational slingshot. Okay, gravitational slingshot. I need to stick Selene in Jupiter orbit. And then onto Pluto. Okay. So, well, okay. And then the one to Mars is just send a boatload of stuff to Mars. I definitely need bigger ships to be able to do this efficiently. So let's go down. You got launch vehicles. AC. So those are the fatter but non-reusable launch vehicles. Oh, Jesus. 2,000 days. That's a lot of research there. Okay, so I can't really upgrade those. So I could go for the Hawk and then the Pelican. More interested in spacecraft, right? What big spacecraft can I get? So right now I'm using the Stratos as my main spacecraft. Long-distance interplanetary craft incapable of landing. Not actually what I'm looking for. Advanced electric craft designed for slow but efficient travel. Again, not really what I'm looking for. Okay, so that's a fusion spacecraft. Need more technology to do that. A nuclear rocket. Interesting. Expanded cargo bays. Ooh, maybe that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, 50% increase in cargo capacity. I feel that is actually what I'm looking for here. So I'm going to put that in the queue. Either way, back on Earth, Eagle's nearly done. Oh, delivering those ones to Mars is going to be a right expense. Also, why do I need an ice water extraction on the Earth? You can just get water. You know what? Fine. I'm going to begin producing more water because we're going to need more fuel. We're starting to eat through our... Oh, I can just do a fuel extractor? Of course I can just do a fuel extractor on Earth because we have fuel here on Earth. Hooray! Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Get a fuel extractor being constructed. And before long, I'm going to want to do another build a polymer one. These are really expensive to get set up. By the way, we need a Selene. And this is 2 tons. How much can Selene carry? Selene can carry 30 tons. What are those? Glass. Okay. I don't know, I feel like having a space telescope up at Pluto. If we're sending a Selene all the way to Pluto, I'm going to put out a deep space telescope. Probably not what I really should be doing, but it sounds fun. Can I reorder? Yeah, there we go. Okay, the Eagle is done, so I can send the next load of stuff over to the moon. So, Luna. We're sending Stratos. We need to send 10 crew. We've got facilities for 10 crew. It says self-sufficient, so off you go. Can get away with the oh, no, hang on back. I want to add more things. Because I want to get the solar array deployed. So that's 50 and 10. 50 and it was, yeah, 10 of these. And then yeah, we're just going to need a huge amount of metal, so the rest of the mass is on metal. There we go, yeah, oh yeah, the Falcon can't carry it up, you need the Eagle to. I don't need to send 1 kiloton up there. Should keep that quite reserved and it can just refuel up there, that's fine. Off it goes. Well, there's our space probe. I imagine... oh, it might not actually. Right, let's see if we can plan this right. How to do a gravity assist. So... plan a mission to another planet's orbit, then immediately plan a mission to another object. Offer a significant boost, saving propellant. The amount of free boost depends on the planet's mass. You must plan the next mission before the previous one arrives. Okay, so we do have a little bit of grace period there. That is fine. So we are going to plan a new mission. Going to Jupiter orbit. Yeah, that is Jupiter orbit. We are sending the Selene that I built previously because I wanted one. And I am going to stick a space telescope in it because why not? This can launch quite happily on the Falcon. Ooh, hang on. This is requiring some of our noble gases. Oh, but we do have a noble gas mine, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm not seeing a difference there. Am I going crazy here? let's... Because here... Right. Because it says optimal 9.8 tons. I can find more optimal ones than that. Yeah, I don't think it's finding the optimal route very well, because that's 9.1 tons. There we go, I'll do that one. The answer to everything is because why not? That is true. This is why we do things. Yeah, so a little bit more fuel, that's fine. It should get a big boost. Right, then yeah, Jupiter. Going out to Pluto. Oh, this is going onto Pluto's surface. I should have put a probe in it, not a telescope. Never mind. Immediately plan it. Do I need to... So it says just before it gets there, so I can launch it. Right. Ah, there we go. Selene, now that's on its way. Yeah, carrots cargo. Yep, that's just telling me about the gravitational assist again. Yeah, take all the fuel with you, don't dump it there. There we go. So that arrives in December 2025, 2050. Yeah, I don't believe anything you say. Oh, because of the amount that we actually have. Right, yeah. Oh, because we... Alright, yeah, okay. We don't have enough fuel. 1 ton. There. Arriving in December. That is fine. Off it goes. I get the money just for planning the mission. That is that done. I now know about gravitational slingshots. Yay! Right. Going back to the Earth. Oh, yeah, I need to send my thing back from the moon, don't I? Alright, no. Stratos. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of fuel here stacked up on moon. Can we build anything? Because I would like to build solar array. There we go. Then if I get the rare resources, I can do the refinery. So yeah, we are getting there. Slowly but surely. Right, that's fine. Plan a mission. And back to Earth. Okay, yeah. So they're running out of supplies. So I can bring some more supplies. Leave those people there, that is all fine. Yes, there's loads of ice on the moon, so that's good. We are building up a nice little supply there. Yeah, don't need any resources, don't need a launch vehicle. Yeah, minimum amount of fuel. Off it goes. Right, okay, so that's all back. The Eagle is repaired, so we can send this back. Okay, that's our solar array has been produced on the moon. I forgot to take the crew doodad back. How much does a new one cost? Really not much. That's fine. We'll build a second crew doodad. Alright, stop playing that for now. There we go. Crew doodad done. So now I can plan another mission. We are going to Luna once more. Using that thingy with 5 crew. Oh, I should have worked out how much I needed to actually put on. Yeah, I don't think we're quite... Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to transport 10 refinery doodads. Rare metals that we need, then we can get the refinery up and running. And transport an extra 10 supplies so the people don't die horribly. I think they don't technically die, but they just enter a kind of stasis state where they're only focusing on producing their resources and nothing more. Then I'll send a bunch more metal out there. Has to be the Falcon or the Eagle, whichever one I just sent. And send them a bit of fuel so they can get back nice and quick. Whee. Okay, that is that spacecraft arriving at Luna. Which means I can now build the fuel refinery, which will produce more fuel than ever. And I don't quite have enough for the ice water extractor. For that, I need another 30 metal. Alright, what can I turn silica into? Into glass. So getting loads of silica here, but the glass is really expensive. It's alloys that I'm rather not getting enough of right now. Okay, right, that's fine. So, plan the mission to send my Stratos back to Earth. Yeah, I guess I'll leave one of the crew compartments on the moon and take the other one back home with me. Right, okay, that needs to be repaired and things, and I should probably look towards doing these other missions. I'll just... A mining module and construction equipment is what we need to send to... So mining module, construction equipment, we need to get that to Mars. It's going to be 25 tons of stuff. Okay, but for now... I just needed some more metal delivered to the moon. Yep, so Luna. Send Stratos. And then just load it up fully with metal. Let's go on the Eagle. I'm not really in a rush to bring that one back. I suppose I could, then I could use this one. So I'll give it a little bit extra fuel. There we go. There we go. That has arrived on Luna. And that should be everything they need to start building the ice water extractor. Yeah, so I really want to get that tech done. So then wondering if I shouldn't aim towards doing biotech and space farming. As the next things I do. Alright. For now, this Stratos can head back home. Do plan mission. Earth. Yeah, I'm just shuttling this thing back. Yeah, not taking any modules, probably very, very inefficient, but hey ho, launch vehicle, none. There we go. Now, as soon as that is finished, there we go, Moonbase Alpha. Yay, great job. Probing Lutetia. And... oh no, required to unlock. Unlock contract. Research laboratories. Okay. Okay, so massive research boost. Needs 20 crew. Okay. So I'm definitely going to need to get some kind of proper hydroponics up there. Actually, I'll leave that in the order it's doing it. Let's think about this Mars mission now, though. So, we are going to Mars, Stratos. Okay, and we need to take the mining module and the construction equipment with us. I'll get us some basic resources. Okay, so the one thing, so I'll be able to, yeah, I'm going to send some supplies out with this. I only need 20 supplies there, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, the mining module will produce a little bit of everything. But I'm going to send 10 alloys along. And you know what, 50 silica. There we go, 50 glass. I get that lot started. These things can then just be mined directly, and so I'll get that before too long. Launch vehicle is going to have to be the Eagle again. Oh, hang on. I think that is just not updating when we're doing this. Because, yeah, optimal 429. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that doesn't seem to update properly. But up there it is. Okay, so that's just a little early access bug, doodad. Oh yeah, right, optimal launch window then, because that's not too much of a delay, it's 2 months later. Yeah, let's go for the optimal one. Off it goes. And then over on Earth. Earth. Yeah, so Luna's now being quite a nice both water and fuel production facility. What's my goal in this? My goal is to take over the solar system. They're basically it just keeps going for a very, very long time. I think right now the ultimate end game goal is to get interstellar travel, but that goes through to like 2300. Generally, we're just competing to be the best out there. For now, the goal is just to kind of establish early exploration, but then as we go a bit later, we then start setting up permanent colonies, mining more and more, and yeah, ultimately unlock research and send stuff to other solar systems. But right now I seem to be doing quite well. Alright, so we can buy and sell all sorts of resources, so this is what I'm actually meant to be using my money for. Ah. Right, so with my fuel station on Mars, I can sell that to Solex, sell the fuel resources. Okay. So because I've got fuel production on the moon, I can make money off of that. Which means if I want... Yeah, so I can buy a load of alloys, which is a thing I'm lacking. There we go, so that costs a chunk of money. We won't ask how exactly I buy and sell human beings. Game, you do not... No. Sure, but yeah, so that's some extra stuff, which means that I can now... Polymer production. I want to get one of those built. Nice. Okay. Right. Yeah, I guess for now what I can do is just... Well, I guess for now what I can do is get a new bloody Stratos, because my one is otherwise occupied. And I can start working on this one, so I need more people living on Mars. What do they need to be able to put down a habitat? Okay, so that needs energy, but I do have energy. That would let me put down 100 people, so I'd need 30 tons of metal. I can build a habitat. And then I can just start shipping parts there for the research lab. Yeah, okay, cool. Got a plan. For now, build a new doodaddery rocket. My rivals sending things to Mars, how dare they? Polymer production on Earth, so we're going to begin sticking in small amounts of that. There's our Stratos finished. So what we can do now is, let's pause this. Yeah, so I need 30 metal. Let's get shipped to Luna. Stratos. So I need 30 metal. I'm going to send the rest as... I'm sure I can do that. So 10 glass. 10, 10, 10, and then the rest can be alloys. Yep, send it on its minimum, because I don't need it back in a huge hurry. And I think that is going to then grab maybe both of the crew modules. But yeah, now we can start production of... Oh, I need a lot more food. Of course I need food. Food is helpful for supporting human beings. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, selling human beings is normal for football. That is true. Right. Silicon deposit. Yeah, okay, so my plan mission, send this poor bloody shit back to Earth. Stratos. I'm going to take the other crew component with me. But without the crew. I'm just taking an empty one back. Alright. And here, those have been finished, so... Yeah, I now just need food and a ton of stuff. So, new mission out to Luna. So I'm not going to carry crew this time because we've not got anywhere for them to live. I needed 20 food, as much alloys as I can fit. Off it goes. Beep, boop. And so over here on Luna, I can now build a habitat. Oh nice, Luna's 420 tons of fuel sitting around. It's doing pretty nicely. No, right. So we need a doodad. Going back to Earth. Bring the Stratos back, not taking anything with it. How much fuel do we have in Earth orbit? 65 tons. Okay. Decent amount in Earth orbit. Oh, nice. Our Mars mission just arrived. So it is now mining. It is mining some iron. The actual iron production isn't bad, so metal production's fine. Really what it needs is the rare resources, so we're going to have to send another mission out there carrying 10 rare resources. There is water, so we can build a fuel refinery out there once we get the rare resources. Which it doesn't have. Okay, so rare resources is what we really need to ship to the moon. That is producing some water there, so that's okay. Can I send this spacecraft back? So I don't think it's doing anything right now. So you return to Earth. Doesn't need to take anything with it, that's all fine. No, doesn't have sufficient propellant even for the optimal route. Yeah, no, there's no good route. Okay, so it's stranded there. Which is fine, that's fine. How to get the resources on Mars? These are automated mines that I'm sending out there. So these are just robot mines. They're not as efficient as the human-done ones. So for example, here on Mars, I've got the mining module, which is just a automated miner. But then I've got the ice water extractor, which requires humans, but is a lot better. Same with the fuel. I've got a mobile fuel refinery here, which doesn't do a lot, generates a little trickle of fuel. I've got the proper fuel refinery, which requires people, but does a lot more. Robots. Space robots. Right, okay, so they're out there, they're doing their thing. Yeah, right, what does Luna need? Luna actually has everything it needs then to do the... There you go. Research facility. What's an observatory? Okay. So there we go. We've got the energy. We've got everything we need for that. We need to start delivering people and food to Luna now that it's got a habitat there. Alright, so we can plan a mission to do that. I'm also going to need another Stratos. Yeah, that's hardly anything. Plan another mission. For now, I am going to send another mission to the moon. Luna. Right. It's going to have 2 modules of people, so that's taking 10 people. I want... I can... Market. Food. Earth buy food. Ooh, oh, okay, that's way too expensive. Let's just have 200 food. Yeah, 200 food for now. Which means we've got food. Oh, nice, the research is done, so my little transport things have a lot more capacity. So yeah, transport a bunch of food to the moon. There we go. Off you go. There we go. I've got an achievement for colonizing Luna. Assuming there's enough people on Luna now. Alright. Send one of these back to Earth. It needs to take both of these modules without any people. No launch vehicle. There we go. Off it goes. Right, and then I want to send another one of 10 people out there. Planned mission. Earth. No, Luna. Luna. Send one of the Stratoses. Boop. No, back. Boop. Both with crew. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That'll let Luna build itself up a bit. Seems a waste not to take more, so I'm gonna put some alloys up on the main because they're difficult to bake there. Alright, Eagle once it's done. Minimum fuel, off it goes. Right, and then I can do my next one to Mars. Stratos, once it's finished building. Actually, Mars has water. I'm going to produce fuel on Mars, which I can do if I ship a mobile refinery module out there. Here we go. Nice, that's our lab finished. That's netted us 3 million. Okay, now that is done. Right, mission to Mars. Stratos, which is nearly done. It is going to take a mobile refinery out there. And then the main thing it needed was rare metals, because Mars doesn't have the ability to produce those itself. I'm going to send 50 rare metals out there. I guess Mars does have the ability to produce metal itself, so oh no, I've got barely any polymers. Yeah, or do I just send... I guess I'll send some alloys because they're used in a lot of advanced buildings. So there we go. Mobile refinery is the main thing. The rare metals will tick that over, and I am mining metal right now on Mars. Okay, so the Falcon when it's done. Okay, in this case they're both the same launch window, so off that goes. Check Mars. Yeah, Mars is already up to 90 tons of metal. Alright, and then I can go over to Luna. Yeah, I think I need 2 extra people on Luna. Is there anything else I want to build on Luna? I guess I could start manufacturing glass up there. I do have a lot of alloys. So I could send a couple more people, begin glass manufacture on Luna. For now though, I am going to plan a mission back to Earth with Stratus and take these modules without crew back. And then yeah, that can trundle off. Just that thing I want. How many people? 10 people required for that. Okay. In which case, I tell you what. We need another crew module. There we go. Okay, so now if I plan another mission, I can send to Luna. Just focusing on my Luna base for now. I want to send Stratos. That all went horribly wrong. Back. Right. Yeah. So a total of 12 people. That will be enough to do all the facilities that are currently on the moon and the new one that I'm putting there. And the rest of the resources being alloys. As we've done biotech, so yeah, space farming is on its way. There's water on Callisto. Okay, there's our new thingy, which means this can now start making... Oh, it can't quite get that. It needs a little bit more polymers. And then I can set up a glass kiln on the moon. Seems fine. Okay, that's fine, so I just send that back then. Back to Earth. May as well take these bloody things back with me. No, without crew. Actually, this will tell me how much I need. So for a hydroponics farm, I need 50 tons of metal. What do I have? I don't have any, so that's fine. So new mission. Back to Luna. We're the Stratos. Oh, how many people is that going to require? Hydroponic farm, 5 people. Okay, so I need to send 5 more people. Stratos. Yeah, 5 more people. Perfect. I need 50 tons of metal. And the rest can be alloys. That one repaired. That one when it's done. Don't need any excess fuel. Because we mine our own now. There we go. Research completed. Space farming. So I am tempted with the improved capsule production, because right now sending 3 capsules on a ship is a bit much. Spin launch facility would be interesting. Wind turbine might be quite useful for Mars. Nuclear power would also be useful. Yeah, nuclear power is really quick. I'm going to go pick that up. Mostly so that it starts unlocking some later things. Right, we've got our little thing back on Luna now. So Luna can now build a hydroponics farm followed by a glass kiln. Hydroponics farm means that we then will have effectively unlimited. That should make the entire thing self-sufficient up there. Should be very, very useful. I'll send one of those spacecraft back. Stratos. Yeah, we're going back to Earth. So I should figure out exactly what I'm doing here. Send that back without any people. No launch vehicle. Minimum fuel. Off it goes. Otherwise that should be our Mars base doing pretty well. Oh, I think we've got power problems. I think we're going to need another solar power plant up there. Hopefully we've got enough. I will need to look into that in a moment, but for now, preparation for human landing part 1 is done, so we've got preparation for human landing part 2. Need to construct a fuel refinery, an outpost, and 1 energy production. Okay. Where's Mars? Okay, so the solar power will be enough. In theory. Then, however, need a... So I've got a mobile refinery, I need an actual fuel refinery. Sorry, that's here. Actual fuel refinery. And an outpost. And it is an outpost, yeah. Yeah, outpost, not habitat. Okay, well that's that lot all invested in. Back over to here with the problems that I have somewhat belatedly realised. Okay, I need to send more glass up to the moon, because yeah, I've realised that, yeah, we're not producing enough power. Okay, that's fine. So, 50 tons of glass, 10 tons of alloy. That's not too big a mission. Luna, Stratos, right. Yeah, you know what, send all 60 tons of, actually just 50 because it's going to start producing its own. 50 tons, the rest is alloys. Up on the Falcon. Enema fuel, off you go. Now, I'm going to send some probe to Phobos and Deimos, even though it's not giving me a mission to do that. I think that's going to be useful. Yeah, not actually build it on the main. Right, there we go. Yeah, so small cargo. Yeah, I don't think we need the 7.5 tons. How much is just like a mining module? Mining module is 5, so no, that's too much. Okay, so I can send like construction equipment out on the little probes, but nothing big. Yeah, okay. Let's just build another probe. We're going to build a pair of cheap doodads. Sorry, getting lost a bit in the controls. Right. Ah, Deimos, there we go. I need to actually build the probes. That would make sense. Build a pair of them. Alright. Right, this I believe is arrived. Yep. There we go, so once that's online. Alright, why is this red? Do not have enough crew. Oh. Okay, so I need to send more crew to... Yeah, so... Oh. Research finished. In which case, so that was nuclear power. I think I want to get wind turbine for Mars. Since it has an atmosphere, may as well use it for stuff. I'll try not to open the hell gates on Mars, but I don't know. No, don't need a module. Alright, you just come back home. Okay, so our little solar array on Mars is done. fuel refinery on Mars is done. Okay, that's our lunar one back. I need to buy people. People are really cheap. I'm going to buy 3,000 people. Alright, that's preparation for human landing on Mars is done. Humans on Mars. Humans consume supplies, live in habitats, and are the workforce of many production facilities. They can be recruited on Earth, born in the colonies. Left without habitats or supplies, humans will quickly die. Okay, but if you provide them with resources, they make babies. Nice. Okay. So we need to... Okay, so I need crew compartment type S and a Hermes, so I don't have to be delivering the space thing to them. I can just drop the crew compartment into orbit. Okay, so I do need to get the Hermes research. Otherwise, this is I need to produce a bunch of stuff in orbit. That's actually really not too bad. I just need to do that research. And that unlocks a load of stuff, including I can start at 2040 if I want to start again. Alright, I'm going to start researching the Hermes then. I'll see if I put that in the queue. That's this one. Alright, research that first. Now I need more people. Why is that off? Oh, it needs water and carbon for the hydroponic farm. So I just need to deliver some carbon to the moon. Fine. I can do that. Yeah. No, not from Luna. From Earth. Right. Let's plan a few missions here. So for Luna, next, that thing. Yeah. A bunch of carbon, stick it on the moon for now. Off that goes, don't need fuel, off it goes. Cool. Next mission. Oh, right, we need to actually yeah, I'm going to build a second Falcon, or I can just do these in two. That's about a second Falcon. Resources aren't all that much. Yeah, you know, you need to feed humans to live. It's weird concepts here, but this is sci-fi. Right. You are going to Deimos. Taking an Iris with a probie boy in it. Launch you on the Falcon. Off you go. Another mission to Phobos, the other one, the other probe, the other Falcon. Off it goes. Alright. So yeah, I guess if Phobos has carbon on it, we can then grow food between what we can get from carbon and Deimos, so we can get a little self-sustaining colony out at Mars. Alright. Yeah, so now now the moon is producing its own food. It's not completely self-sustainable because it needs a supply of carbon which it can't generate itself. But otherwise, that's all good. Might be able to use a silicon mine there. It's not huge amounts of silicon. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to fuss over that too much just now. So what I can do then is just send that back to Earth, because we're going to need the Stratos for things in the future. Mostly we're going to be delivering lots of stuff into Earth orbit, so we can do that. New planned mission. Earth orbit. Just launch payload container. Right, I need 100 tons of alloys. 25 tons of computer. 40 tons of tasty lithium. And 10 tons of nucleons. There's a bunch of stuff going up there. That's going to have to launch on an Eagle. Off it goes. Nice, that's all of that. Let's check on how Mars is doing. Yep, Mars has its outpost. Fuel refinery, which is not working, so no people there. It's got its solar array. It's got a few resources. It can make its own hydroponics farm. I'm going to get that prioritized. Because I kind of want people to be able to not die. Alright. My probes heading off to Phobos and Deimos are on the way. Yeah, what is it mining here? Okay, so it can make glass here. While early spacecraft and launch vehicles use chemical engines that consume fuel, there are many other types of engine that can propel them. Electric engines utilize electromagnetic forces to accelerate noble gas such as argon or xenon to generate thrust. They are many times more efficient than chemical engines. They are far weaker and unable to start from planets and moons without launch vehicles. Consume much rarer noble gas. Okay, that's fine. That's just because we've got our thingy there. Anyway, what I was considering here, what are we mining on the moon? So alloy smelting requires a bunch of people, but it would consume... Okay, it would consume rather a lot of that. Wondering about mining. But we need more metals before I can do this. Okay, that's fine. Okay, priority then. Earth, orbit. Build a spacecraft. And we're going to build a Hermes. What? Thought we did. Where did all my resources go? Oh, it's entered production. Right, yeah, okay. New offer on Luna. Oh yeah, I suppose I can see what people want to... Okay, yeah, so I can sell fuel for insane prices on the moon. Oh, holy crap, the Chinese are offering me 18 million for 10 rare things. Yes. No, the Chinese deal. Fucking hell, the Chinese just bankrolled me. I'm glad I sent some extra rare metals out to Mars, because they just paid a hell of a lot. Nice, okay. Yeah. Chinese have more money than they know what to do with. Well, I am going to instead focus on... Right, Mars. Actually, I only have an outpost, don't I? Yeah. I could really do with a habitat out there, but I can't build one without more supplies. Okay, so initially I'm not going to have a huge number of people on Mars, but I guess that's okay, but long term I can go for habitat. So for now, this has capacity for 10, so we'll send 10 people out there. Right, so I need to launch a spacecraft into low Earth orbit. Yeah, sending 10 people. Let's send 50 tons of food. Oh, yeah. It's got some extra. Yeah, so I'll just load up that as well, so it's got loads of food. Right, so that goes into orbit. Kaboosh. Now if I go to low Earth orbit, got people, got that, got this thingy, got 120 tons of fuel. Can get up to 300. Do I have any fuel on Luna right now? A little bit. I suppose I can refuel once I'm there, so as long as that's enough it should be fine. So, spacecraft. We're launching to Mars. We're sending Hermes. What? No. Low Earth orbit. Plan. Mars. Yeah, we're going to Mars, sending the Hermes. Oh no, back. Okay, sending all the people, all the food we have. Doesn't need a launch vehicle because it's already in space. We, all of you are to blame in this. If it's called noble gas, are there also noble metals, or are there just rare metals? Yeah, I believe they're just noble. Sorry, now just rare earth metals. Oh no, noble metals are gold, silver, platinum, palladium. Yeah, so unreactive metals then. Okay, forgot to actually send the fuel up there, which is, you know, a wee bit embarrassing, but that's fine. Need 37 tons of noble gas fuel. Okay. I mean, ideally a bit more, because I'd like the thing to be able to return. So, new mission, Earth orbit. Let's send 300 tons up. Some very inefficient launches have been doing, but here's what it is. Right, now if I go Earth orbit, no, it's actually not gone yet. Okay, yeah, Hermes construction, and there's the fuel. Right, okay, now... No, we are not going to Earth, we're going to Mars! Specifically Mars orbit, because otherwise the thing won't be able to get back. Hermes. It's taking 2 people. It's taking 50 tons of food. Doesn't need a launch vehicle. They've got supplies for 7,000 days. Should be more than enough. They're taking 300 tons of propellant, even though they only need 36. That's plenty. In fact, I'm going to leave some of it up here, so they're going to take 150 tons. It's plenty to get them there. Yeah, I'll go for the optimal one. Yeah, so 150 tons. Off you go, lovely people. Yeah, supplies are running out on low Earth orbit. That's fine. I think. Oh no! Oh crap! I'm gonna need to do another. Fuck! They put all the supplies on the spaceship and all the humans died. Right. Okay. We are going to buy a lot of food on Earth. We will not worry about the fact that the humans just died. Right, okay, that's fine. We've got time, right. Build another crew module. Send another 10 people up there. Alright, what are we doing? We are going to Earth orbit. To do this, we are going to... Screw it, just send the payload container. 2 people. And 100 tons of food up there. Okay, right, now in Earth orbit, there are people and food. Oh, we've finished researching the wind turbine. That's nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab improved capsule construction, because this then gives ones that you can really send a lot of crew in one boat. Right. Okay, so otherwise, out here on Mars, seems to be doing pretty well. Does have a decent little fuel supply there. And we do have our little probe on Mars's moons. Yes, there's a little bit of carbon out there at Deimos, or Phobos even. Deimos has a little bit of water. Yeah, well, let's push through this bit. So our next mission. Launches here. Poof. Off we go. Here we are, last little grand engagement. Grand mission. Nearly there. Right, okay, now I need to figure out how I get these things down onto the planet. So, Mars orbit, I've got all of these resources. Mars. Yeah, Mars orbit to Mars. Okay, orbital payload container. That. Doesn't need a launch vehicle. Because they're just going to go land. There we go. We have put people on Mars. And so, bunch of new contracts. Life on Mars and Martian industry. So, probing Lutetia. So, we need... Yeah. Okay, so getting mining an asteroid. Cool. Also need life on Mars. I've already built hydroponics farms, so we just need a ultra ice extractor on Mars. Cool. Martian Industries alloy smelting on Mars. And nice. Okay, so plenty more there to do. We've got our little foothold here on Mars. It's not the most amazing little foothold ever, but we do have some things here. We're getting a decent amount of fuel slowly ticking up. We now have some people. Do need to ship some actual food out to these people so that they don't starve and die. But should be able to start expanding that very nicely quite quickly. And do have these little moons that we can start exploiting. We should be able to get Mars in a sort of a self-sufficient state before too long, which is very fun. Yeah, I've enjoyed this game. Very different from a lot of other games. Yeah, it's KSP without the spaceship design, but all about the management, which is an interesting concept, and I am definitely enjoying it. I definitely will be putting more time into this. Whether or not I'm doing that time on stream or not is up to all of you. Let me know what you thought about this. For now, I'm going to leave that there. But yeah, very much enjoyed that. Very much looking forward to all the things this adds, and yeah, we've barely scratched the surface in terms of what we can do here. And all it ends up with, you know, you could get terraforming, so you can start to terraform Mars, all sorts of things. There's interstellar travel there that we can work towards, all sorts of fancy endgame technologies. And as I said, this just came out in early access, so very interested to see where this goes from here. Right, thank you everyone for joining me on the stream, and as always, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.